after I play my interlude because I haven't played it in a while. So here we go.
Hi Anthony, it's Vicky from Portsmouth in England. Hi Anthony, it's Vicky from Portsmouth in England. What does third eye visions mean to me? Well, I became partially sighted 4 years ago, and through that time I added a few blogs on Facebook and came across yourself. What third eye visions has done for me, it's given me hope, it's given me that support to be able to be independent and move forward, and also a lot of information from other people on their experience, those who have been partially sighted all through their lives and blind, and how they get through on a day-to-day sort of basis. It gives me the drive to get up in the morning, to be a single parent, to go to work, to do what I've got to do, and to cross those barriers. Third eye vision has given me the support and the friendship and the kind of links to be able to get up and be who I want to be, instead of sitting indoors and kind of having those barriers that you're unable to overcome. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing fantastic. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. All right. Let's get it stopping. Let's get it popping right quick. Okay. My name is Anthony Parker, and we have a hot topic today. But first, before I do that, welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kind. I'm a bit under the weather, but I'm gonna let my guests do most of the talking. Today's topic is: are there techniques blind people use to show they are sexually attracted to another person? Y'all, look. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the video. If y'all have any questions, y'all welcome to do so. You might learn something. I'm hoping you do. There are a lot of sighted people out there who would probably are interested in wondering if there are certain things blind people, certain techniques, or how do blind people determine whether someone is sexually attracted. And what better persons to help me talk about this is two returning guests, and Cindy and Tim. And I'm gonna let the female go first and allow her to introduce herself and give a little background information. And then Tim, you second. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hey, it's Cindy. I'm in Virginia. And I was gonna say I am blind. I can only see light perceptive.
Okay. And Tim.
Yes, I'm Tim, and I'm from Pennsylvania. I have no usable sight. I just have some light perception. That's it.
Okay, Cindy, you were on here before, and we when we discussed the topic of phone sex operator, right?
Right.
And that video is doing pretty good. So if y'all want to check that out, y'all welcome to do so. I put this title together, as I mentioned, because I want just to share some techniques, if there are some, and I'll give mine. But in my last couple of videos somewhere back, I just want the people to know that there's more to blindness. There's more to us than blindness. We do a lot of things, and yes, we definitely, a lot of us indulge in sex. Some may be more than others and whatnot. And I want to share the thoughts that we have and whatnot, because we're human beings and whatnot. So with that being said, Tim, you had wanted to come on and join me and talk about this topic. Go ahead.
I saw the topic. I said, you got. So I gotta come on. I gotta say hello and everything. No, I think there's I'm ever since I was a teenager and knowing about the sex and attraction and all that. I think there was a stigma with being blind and with friends who are visually impaired about attraction. A lot of it was you have to use your hands. I say when my biggest thing was language. So I use a lot of. I would read up on stuff, read up poems, read up on literature, and use that as my method to let people know how attracted I am. If I got to know them more, it was easy. Just use my hands, and that's kind of a slow but steady gesture.
Okay. Cindy, you want to piggyback off of that? Or yeah.
Oh yeah. I talking to people. I try to get to know their personality and their likes, what they do.
Mhm.
And sometimes even their voice, which that don't even matter. But um, just getting to know the person and their personality, how they're like.
Now you mentioned voice, Tim.
Yes.
From has there ever been a time where you have heard a person's voice and have developed an image in your mind as to how that person looked, and then once you were allowed to basically, as you say, physically touch them, you were wrong about the way the image, whatever?
I was, yes. There were one or two times. One time, I had been talking with this person for so long, it was just another part of them. The other time, it was when they described themselves differently, um, and when I actually was able to figure out more things about them, they were just egging me on. That was definitely a bad experience there.
Oh, definitely. And the bad experience. Can you speak a little bit about it? About that? What do you mean it was a bad experience?
Well, when someone tries to describe themselves, I am not. I am of all people. I am not a person about image
Mm.
or appearance. It's more about who they are, their personality, and that really complements everything about them. Um, the the bad experience I had was when someone was trying to describe themselves and didn't think I would notice or care. Um, and they described themselves as someone who was much taller and was very short, but instead they were very short and a couple other things. And I said, well, why didn't you just tell me? He said, well, because I didn't think you would notice or see, or since you can't see, why? Since this is what bothered me about that experience, since you can't see, does it really matter?
Wow. Okay.
And I think, oh,
Go ahead.
yeah. I think, no. It does matter.
It
Because
definitely does. Definitely does. Cindy, have you had any experiences in terms of what you heard from an individual turn out not to be the case?
Yeah, actually, I have years ago. Pretty much the same thing. Like they tell you they look like one thing and they don't. They look like totally different. But I think they feel the same way. Like, you can't see, or they didn't think they were ever going to meet or anything. But yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna pose this question to both of y'all. Since we as visually impaired people use a form of touch to to determine how or get an image of a person, what once you've developed that image in you, is there like an attraction? By that I mean, say for instance, are you and we'll get a little bit more deeper. Are you turned on more so by the way a person feels? And I'll let Cindy go first with this. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Well, like I said, I go by personality and just the way their person carries themselves or acts. My husband actually passed away last year, but I met him through a chat line or a party line, and he lived in New York. And then when we met, I got to see what he looked like, by touch, whatever. But he was basically like he said. So, I mean, I was just, by his personality and everything.
But okay, Tim, you can answer now. I'll come back to Cindy. Tim, you can answer that one.
yeah, well, I am a big person about with my medical conditions other than my vision. I am very sensory sensitive, so I am very big about trying to figure out things, mapping out things in my head with that. So yeah, touch is a big thing for me.
Once, so more. Let's go a little further. What? So that I mean, do you all both get a sense of excitement, like say for instance, if Cindy, if you're touching a man, do you get excited when you feel his maybe his muscles, if he has any, or his arms, his face, his hair? What is it that gets you attracted to that individual, Cindy?
Yeah, muscles, like, I don't know, just basically how they are, how they carry themselves, pretty much, like, I guess the way they talk. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, basically that, just how they act.
Okay. What about you, Tim? What is there certain features that a woman has that turns you on? Because it is for me. I want to throw that in. Go ahead.
With as I was saying before, sensory stuff, yes. With touch, that is very important to me, because that is the way I can map out who I'm with. With my wife, as an example, is that my sensory touch is the way I can map out in my head where we are, what we're doing, everything. And that does bring a good bit of pleasure and satisfaction. And even if it's just holding hands and kissing, it's putting everything in my head, mapping everything out. Everything from textures to how her skin feels, that brings almost like an image in my head.
Okay, that makes sense, because, and I kind of wonder where this actually comes from, because like with me, like as a blind person, and I'll just say, I mean, with my girlfriend, I love to touch. So the way she feels in terms of the like, maybe she may have nice legs, or she may have a nice we could say a nice ass, or our nice breasts. Those are the things that turn me on, and I kind of wonder, since I've never seen this before, I wonder why it stimulates me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's weird. It's just like weird to me, and that's why I was asking you all, like, what on a person's body part, more specific, turns you all on or get you all excited? Cindy.
I don't know. I guess the muscles, like, it really doesn't matter, as long as they're a little bit taller than me. But it really doesn't matter their heights or weights or whatever. But touching, like you said, like feeling, because we have to feel to see what they see like. Y'all know what they look like. Y'all know that. And just just pretty much just that, like their chest for me, like I don't know, just basically,
those particular parts, I see. What about you, Tim? I mean, is there one specific? And I hear the dog barking in the background. They say all men are dogs, but
oh, I'm sorry, that's my dog.
Are there certain parts on a female that just like, man, that I like that,
Okay, well, it's changed or evolved over the years. My wife would have to tell you and say it's her butt. I knew her in high school, or tail end of high school, and we ended up meeting at a dance class. And she said it was obviously her ass or butt, and because when we were dancing and everything, my hands would be moving around,
right.
And for whatever reason, well, in the beginning, she's like, it was obviously an accident in the beginning, but after that, I couldn't tell whether you were accidentally grabbing or not. So yeah, my wife would say it was her ass.
Okay. Y'all both have had sight before, right?
Very little.
What about you, Cindy? You have a little sight.
I had like tunnel vision, but I could only see like 20/200. But yeah, I had a little bit of sight before.
Well, the reason why I ask is, do you all kind of get like a bit upset, because of the fact that you have to actually use your hands to determine how a person look, as opposed to looking at them and being able to create a sense of attraction there? You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Great.
Tim. You go first this time.
Do I feel like lost?
Yeah. Do you feel, like, man, I wish I could actually see instead of me actually feeling, because it may be something that I miss out by actually, not being able to look at that person, to see her features, because it may not be the same as it is if you were actually, if you actually can see. So do you ever get like, man, I wish I could actually see this woman, as opposed to feeling her?
I think that maybe in past relationships or in my past, yes, I've had some people in the past that was I was made to feel bad, but not so much now. No, but yeah, I've had that in the past where it's if I have had that experience in the past. Yeah.
Okay. And I got a question from one of the guests. Go ahead, Cindy, and I'll answer.
I don't think that I have. I mean, I just kind of, to describe. I feel like, I kind of picture what they look like, So I don't think I ever get discouraged or anything about that.
I never had. Speaking from my point of view, I never have either. Because I haven't. I mean, I lost my sight so long ago. So, and that's why I was wondering. I was wondering how I. It's just, how do I know what it is that's stimulating me to want to create an attraction, be it sexual or whatever, towards a female. But a guest wanted me to ask. Well, she asked me what features are attracted, and as I mentioned earlier, the breasts, the butt, the legs, the conversation, the voice. What about perfumes? Is that a stimulant? Is that a form of something that creates an attraction for you all, Cindy?
I mean, yeah, if they smell good, that's, different kinds that I think smell good. Yeah. I'd
Tim,
say probably.
Go ahead. You have some more?
Perfumes. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about smells. That's either a great turn on or a great, stimulant and attraction, or a horrible one. It goes either way.
Yeah.
So, so there have been some smells that just basically like turn you all off, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Yeah. So in essence, basically, do you all look at it as the attraction that y'all do have? It's almost, or it's similar to people who can see. It's just the techniques that we use that are different. I mean, what do you all have to say in reference to that, or what your impressions about that? Like, go ahead.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry.
No, I was asking. There shouldn't. From what I'm hearing, that there's not too much of a difference in terms of the attraction that a sighted person may have, as opposed to one that a blind person may have. It's just that we have to go and use different techniques to get where we need to be at to get to that point. Y'all want to comment on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can. Yeah. There's. Like I was mentioned a little bit earlier. There's a stigma, about or stereotype with people who are blind and how they are attracted to people, or they got to touch everything, or you got to touch every feel. I think I remember the great phrase once was, you can't see, so you're I'm giving you permission to touch me so you can picture how I am. I just started laughing when this happened once, because I wasn't really I wasn't like super close with them, but they were like, "You're blind, so I'm going. You can do this because it's okay." I was like, "No, thank you."
That makes
yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, that's about the same. Like, you just got to. I go by descriptions, and personality is really what I go by the most, but and the way they act, the way they carry themselves, their conversations, you know.
I definitely agree. All those do play a part in basically the attraction, the sexually attracted to your
But like,
mate.
there's this show that was on Netflix and it's called Blind Love, I think.
Mhm.
And I don't know if either one of y'all watched it, but it's
I've heard of it.
yeah, and it's sighted people, but they can't see the person like until after it was after they proposed. But they talk to this person like all get to know them, kind of like us, but they're like there's a wall or there's a barrier in between both of them, so they
Yeah.
can't see. But it's pretty much giving them the idea of what we do. So
Sort of like a simulation, but I don't think that as a sighted person you can actually get the true meaning of what it is. Do y'all think as a blind person, as we speak about something that's the sexual attraction, once you've developed that image after you felt that person and what have you, do you all feel that the sex and you both have had sight before is any different than it is if you had sight?
I don't really like. I mean, like I said, I still went by. I had a little vision back then, So I still kind of went by their personalities and everything. Looks really didn't really matter to me.
Okay, Tim.
No, I would say it's the touch and the feel of everything. It's over 7, 8, yeah, wow, good many years now. So
Thank you.
but no, with the idea of attraction and feeling in touch, it's a lot about conversation. The only time it ever got really bad many years ago was when they decided to re-describe themselves in a completely different way and kind of made a fable fairy tale when it wasn't real.
Oh.
But if someone doesn't tell me and then I find out on my own, then that's me finding out on my own through touch and feel as if I could see. So that person wasn't saying that person wasn't egging anything on or changing anything. They were actually just waiting for me to figure everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why with past relationships a long time ago, that was the biggest thing, which is just give me time to, if you're comfortable, let me find out on my own.
It's a great point. Me, I beg to differ. As I touch a female and get that and develop that image in my head, and I move on to the next step, which is having a sexual encounter. It really is a great turn on for me because now I have in my mind the image that I want. So that's a stimulating factor as well. But I can't compare me having sight because, like I said, it was so long ago. But I've only could remember the fact that me being blind and engaging in sexual activities in a sexual encounter, and that's why I wanted to ask you all, if maybe y'all can educate me if there was any difference. And I want to before I do that, if y'all have any more comments, Boss Lady, I want to thank you. She said this is a very interesting topic, so that's the deal. I wanted to see if there was any difference because I've heard a lot of people talk about, when they, sighted people talk about when they have engaging sex, they're more so looking in the person's eyes and trying to, just basically getting a feel for everything without talking. But with us, it's more of it's more of the technique that we use is more of a tactile a version of us actually seeing it, and that's a turn on for us. Do y'all agree? Disagree? Anyone?
I would agree on that. Definitely. Yeah.
Sydney?
Yeah, I would agree too.
Okay, cool. Y'all have any more any other information as visually impaired people y'all want to throw out in terms of the techniques that you all use to get you all to the point to where y'all need to be at so y'all can make it happen? You know what I'm talking about. So do y'all have any techniques, any other techniques aside from feeling?
Be patient and take your time.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Exactly.
I mean, Cindy, you're so laid back. I mean, you know, again, we're speaking with Cindy, who used to be a
Yeah.
phone sex operator, and we're
Mhm.
speaking. I'm speaking with Tim, who's here to provide a little expertise. Um, so all in all, the techniques is more of a tactile, more of touching, more of listening, more of smelling. So you basically are using your other senses that you know your other what
Yeah, all of your other senses, and they're more. It's like your senses are more. How do I say? It seems like they come out more when you can't see. Like your hearing, your touching. Like they're more.
as far as the attraction, sexual attraction. Do you all think? I'm gonna pose this question that we all use the tactile, and Tim, you can go first. Do you think the image that y'all get or the stimulation that you get is greater if the person was clothed or unclothed? Tim first.
Um. The understanding more with the unclothed part, yes. Okay, that is definitely where I get the better picture and the tactile feel. And
Okay.
so yeah, I would say unclothed or as less clothes as possible.
Okay. Cindy.
I think either way, actually. Because the clothes you can. I don't know. It's like I can tell a little bit better. So I think it's either way.
Well, for me, I'm agree with Cindy. It could be either way, but certain clothing that a female wears is stimulates me more so as opposed to with what they certain
Yeah.
clothing that they have on, like if it's baggy clothes you really can't feel the person's body to determine. But if it's like something that's tight, it's more of a stimulant for me when I touch it. Go ahead, Cindy.
I think it's Tim's turn. Like I feel the same way. Like it's just.
Is it certain clothing for you too, Tim?
For me, yes. Certain clothing for me too, yes.
Tight clothes, loose clothes, what certain material, what?
I
Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I would
Go
say
ahead.
certain material. Yeah.
Oh, go
Okay,
ahead,
good.
Tim.
Oh
All
no,
right.
no, no, please go ahead. I did me.
Oh no, go ahead. Like I was just gonna say, yeah, the way you're right. There's certain type of clothes.
Certain type of clothes. Go ahead. You can finish it up. Certain type of clothes turn you on. I mean, what
Yeah,
that you would
yeah, like
prefer a man to wear? What?
yeah, like you're saying, like really baggy clothes. I don't, if they're real baggy, you really can't tell what they look like. If
Okay.
they wear like jeans or, I guess certain kind of clothes, like you said.
Mhm. Okay. Well, that's definitely. I want to put that out there too because that's definitely an important situation. So as we come to a conclusion, I want to ask this question. You both have you we all three of us have our certain attractions and what have you. So I want to pose this question. If a person if you touch a person and that person is too tall or too short, is that a turn off for you, Tim, or is it that you don't have a certain type of body structure for females?
Regarding like height or
Height, weight, and or it just doesn't matter to you the way a person.
to me it doesn't matter. One thing that with me is as if they are as reactive as I am. That to me is the big turn on for me, which is they have to be as reactive. They have to understand that I with my hands I may be a little bit more mapping things out. So they have to be understanding and patient with that.
Okay.
But there's no for me no height, no weight. There's no there. It's that really wasn't a turn off for me in any way, whether
Okay.
it be height, weight, and stuff.
What about you, Cindy?
I think the same way. Um, I don't know. I'm like 5'2", so I don't think I really don't like not like, but somebody shorter than me. So I kind of like them taller a little bit than me, not too much, but But other than that, it really doesn't matter.
Wow, and a lot of people might think that well, blind people, and since you're blind, since a person's blind, they don't really have an image, or they just would accept anything, or
Yeah, no, that's not true.
yeah. So I'm glad you clarified that as well. Tim, you wanted to comment before I move on? Hey, sensational Jen, nice. I appreciate you coming and checking.
You just broke up. What was the question? I apologize.
No, I just wanted to ask if you had wanted to comment on the fact that people may have the misconception that a person is blind. It doesn't matter to them how another person feels, or it just they can't see them anyway.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that stereotype is pretty bad. I've had that with long ago. I used to have that with family members, which is like we can hook up Tim, and because he can't see, so it doesn't
Right.
really it doesn't really matter.
I've heard that before too as well. I
Yeah,
definitely.
I laugh at that now, but it wasn't funny then. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because he can't see, so he won't really care.
I've heard that.
And I say this, I do care, but it doesn't. If someone is taller than me or shorter than me, bigger than me, I'm not immediately saying, "Oh my gosh, no." But when someone says, "I don't care," I do care, but I want to find out on my own.
Okay. So let me ask you all this since we're talking about sexual attraction and what have you. Do y'all feel that blind people are more sexual than sighted people? I mean, and I know we've all had conversations and what have you, but I've heard people and they were sighted say that that's all we think about as blind people is sex. What do y'all have to say to those people? I know it may be a little bit off the subject, but go ahead, Cindy.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do you feel that blind people are more sexual than sighted people? I mean, as far as the conversation that you may have had with sighted people, do you think we talk about sex more so than the normal?
No, I do not. I think it's about the same. Like, I don't think we do more. Nothing. Like, I think it's about the same.
What about you, Tim?
I think the image or the stereotype, people think that we're more into having sex and more sexual than other people. But we live our lives. We have our other things.
Definitely. Well,
families, kids. It's not all about. I think that's like a Hollywood image thing. Where,
Yeah, that's a
I can't remember the
stereotype.
movie
I
right now,
agree.
but it's some. I can't even think of the movie, but it'll come to me in the middle of the night. But I think there's a couple of movies where they have one of the main characters is blind. And it's all about sex. So yeah, it's definitely more of a stereotype image.
Well, it could be. I mean, I'm gonna beg to differ with y'all too. It could be a myth. It could be, something that's true. But I've been on a lot of different chat lines with a lot of blind people, and believe me,
Oh yeah,
that seems to be the conversation more so than anything.
Oh yeah, I agree
Yes.
on the chat lines. That is, yeah,
And that
mostly
would
a lot
make
of
people
conversation.
believe, sighted people believe that hey, that's all y'all talk about is sex. So I just want to throw that out at you all. Go
for
ahead.
making my night. Thank you for making my night. Yes, yeah, that is. I think it's also, to me, I think it's also a generational thing. A little bit.
I
Right.
mean, on the chat lines, there's sighted people too, and there's a lot of sighted people that talk about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Definitely. So now y'all sighted people, y'all stay away from them chat lines because that's what they are doing. They are giving us a misconception about. That's all we talk about. But we definitely have lies. But in conclusion, in talking about, are there techniques blind people use to show if to show if if they are sexually attracted to another? I wanted to definitely bring this to the forefront and let people know that um, there are techniques, but I don't really look at them as techniques. For me, it's just a way of me determining how a person look, what is attracted to me, and it's just a combination of perfume, combination of a female's voice. I love a soft voice. The way a person feels in terms of the structure of their body and whatnot. Now I don't discriminate, but just because I'm visually impaired, I do have my my choice,
Preferences.
yeah,
Yeah.
exact preferences and whatnot. So that's a situation, and go around the table and get you all's last comments and what have you. And I'll close up everything. Go ahead. Tim, you go first.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions. I have my ways. I use a lot of I call it learned techniques with that. Do I think about it all the time? No, but it's definitely a part of my life and my routine. So yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yeah, like, I just get to know the person. I talk to them, just like conversation and see how they are, like what their likes, dislikes, everything like that is, I guess.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome Becca's well to the show. She said that in reference as far as talking about sex, she said that's all sighted people want to talk about as well. I want y'all to support her when y'all get the chance. Everyone out there, Becca's world. But I want to sum it up by saying this, that please, because some blind people have given people the image that we like to touch and feel and all this other things. So when please, get, at least it's not a matter of getting permission, but just kind of be careful when you going out there touching on other individuals to see how they look and whatnot, because that's not a good thing. What I'm saying, get to know that person first,
Right.
by talking to them, and then later that comes next. Because like I've been to seminars and things like that where blind people walk up to a female, just started, that's a form of harassment to me. Start touching on them and things of that nature. Just I felt her ass. I felt her breast. I mean, I don't believe in that. I feel that you should get to know a person first before you actually start to touch and move on to
Right.
the next level.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead. You can finish it up, Cindy.
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree because I've been to seminars and different things like that too with a lot of blind people. I've been like to the rehab center for the blind. That was years ago, but I agree. You just gotta talk and get to know the person.
Definitely. Hey, CM Blind, how you doing? If y'all have any questions for my guests right quick before I close out, let me know. I'm gonna be on here for about maybe 5 more minutes. And I'm speaking with Cindy
Virginia.
from Virginia, and my man who I believe he has a badge for one of my top fans on my third eye page, Tim and whatnot, and they've come on to talk about just the techniques that blind people use to when they are attracted sexually to an individual, and they have blessed me, and I appreciate it. So if you have any questions for them right quick, let me know, for me or anything like that. I'm glad that y'all stayed. Becca's World, Boss Lady Denise, that's my girl, man. Sensational Jen, Tawanda, Arlene, CM Blind. Man, I really appreciate it. And if y'all on YouTube, please hit that like button. Go hit that like button. And if y'all have any topics y'all want to come on and share, please do that as well. So let me see if they got them see. Okay. Thank you for coming on, CM Blind. Hey, okay. Okay, so that's the deal, y'all. I want to close by saying thanks again for tuning in. And y'all got any last comments?
I don't think so.
Anthony, thank you again, and
Yeah, and thank
always
you for
wonderful.
letting me be on here.
No, this is you all show, man. I mean, so anytime y'all say you have any questions, y'all welcome to come on and please support everybody else's channels from Seeing Blind, Boss Lady Denise, the
Okay,
Sensation.
I will. I
Okay,
will.
and the next time we'll be coming on talking about some good things. So with that being said, thank y'all very, very much, and I'm out.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much, man. You all are sweethearts, man. Appreciate it. Um, that's about it. Tim and Cindy, I really, really, really thank y'all for coming
Oh,
on.
thank you.
Okay, and Tim, I'm gonna holler at you later, baby. Thank you, Tim. He's gone. Okay, Cindy, see you later.
Bye.
All right, bye bye.